Hi everybody. So how does your vibration or your spiritual frequency or your spiritual nature, your spiritual smell influence your spirituality? You have to understand that every spirit, including you, has a certain vibration or frequency or smell, right? And so that frequency or smell will attract similar spirits. Okay, so when you see anybody, like for me, for instance, I have been on this walk right now for what, maybe since year 2000, and anybody that knows me personally, I'm not talking about people that know me on Instagram, because people that know me on Instagram don't really know me, but people that know me personally, people that I work with, they will tell you how I live my life. My life is disciplined, like discipline. Okay, I didn't get to this place overnight, and I didn't get to it because I was gifted. That's a lie. That is something that people tell people to make people feel that they can achieve it or they can get there. Where is there? There is getting to the point where you have built up spiritual strength by focusing on doing things that are in line with building up spiritual strength. Simple as that. That's all that is. So now, if you are not vibrating, or if your frequency is not high, you're going to attract to yourself spirits that are low. Like for instance, when I was going, no, let me say something else. This whole period, the greatest battle that I have had to fight is to keep the pandemonium plus the fear, right, and the surrounding spirits out of my mind and out of my heart, to keep that away. Now when I'm here, I ain't got that problem. But when I go to work, for instance, where everybody's all about it, it takes a lot of force for me to push those spirits back and keep them at bay from entering here and here. Because as soon as they gain a foothold, because you have fear, they get in. Understand what I'm saying? So it is a lot of work, but I'm able to do that work because I've spent years developing spiritual strength. But please do not think that I do that because I'm superhuman. No, that is why I have Christ, number one. My energy is lined and is in line and is continually lining up with the impulse and the spiritual energy of Christ. And so every day I continually cleanse myself. If you guys notice, I don't use curse words anymore because I had to drop that. I continually purify myself. I continually grow. I continually expand myself, getting rid of that which is not in alignment with my higher nature, and absorbing that which is in alignment with my higher nature. Now, how does that translate into your spiritual life? How does that translate into your life practically? When you, okay, for instance, the church forbade astrology. The church forbade, religion forbade us to know the stars. But you are the universe in a microscopic form. Everything in heavens, every star in heavens is you, in different conformation and in different configurations to make you. But every star that is in the heavens is in you somewhere. Now, if you are not aware of the stars in the heavens and where they are in your chart or in your life, you're not aware of yourself. So what happens is, some of these energies are there because every star is living. Please don't believe what they say, that planet is sitting down there waiting for you to come take it over. Lie. And they know it too. Lie. Every star is living, alive, full of spiritual energy, full of spirits. So when they are in your life somewhere, the higher you go in your purification, the more you activate the light versions of the stars in you. It begins with Christ. It begins with the high impulse and the high pure energy of Christ. That's where it starts. Because until you incorporate into yourself the high energy and the pure energy of Christ, you are not going to be upwardly mobile. You are going to be sinking down into the abyss, whether you are aware of it or not. Because Christ's energy actually came in to catapult you up, because we were heading down into the abyss. We had become we were spirits first, and then we descended into the body, and then we got so into the body that we got lost in the body. Look at all the development that we have spent our energy developing in the last 100 years. All of that has been to make this world a beautiful place, to make us stay in this place pleasant. Zero, very little has been to our spiritual nature. That tells you how far down into this physicality we have descended, and we are heading straight into the abyss, because the abyss is the line or the point past earth, going way down. So Christ is the energy. When he poured his blood out, that blood went into the earth and changed it. And that is the energy that if you latch onto, can help you, take you back up. Back into the spiritual, which is who you are. Because you're not physical. You're not. Christ came to give you the power to help you choose to get from the abyss back up, so that you can spiritualize your physical existence. Not by doing spiritual practice, but to understand that you came in here to, first of all, create an ego, number one, and then transform that ego so that ego becomes the embodiment of your higher nature, not a tool to satisfy your lower nature. Because once you use your ego to satisfy your lower nature, you go deeper and deeper and deeper into the abyss. And then what happens to all those spirits of the stars in you? You do not use their higher nature, you use their lower nature. And then another thing is this: the higher you go in self-awareness, the more it's brought to you what things and spirits that you have access to, that are there to help you. Okay? The more is brought to your awareness, the more that you know yourself, the more that you develop yourself. Because how can you develop what you don't know? A lot of people don't know themselves. You look at your natal chart, you see all those empty spaces in your houses. They're not empty. They're full of asteroids. And each asteroid is an energy. Some of them are actually gods and goddesses that have lived out that energy, that are living, that are there to help you. But if your pineal gland is calcified, you have no antenna. So you can't pick it up. And that is, I'm not going to talk about that. You have no antenna. And if you have no antenna to pick up spiritual information, or to actually choose, you have to have an antenna. You have to have a working antenna to say, oh, I'm a spiritual being. If you don't have a working antenna, ab initio, as they say in Latin, or in the first place, you will not have the awareness that you are a spiritual being. Therefore, you are headed straight down to the abyss, because it is your awareness of your spiritual nature that will help you realize that you are spirit in a body. Without an active pineal gland that connects you to the spirit, you lose awareness of your spirit. That is as far as I'm going to say about that. Does that make sense? So when